How are you today? Bright and beautiful Sunday morning when you see this, or whenever you pull it up and watch it. That's one of the nice blessings in this, is that you don't necessarily have to be tied to a certain time on Sunday morning. So I'm Reverend Judy Hildebrand. I'm the minister here at Unity of Mesa right now, and Reverend Kathy is still out on leave. She will be back next Sunday to do Easter service though. And joining me today are Candee and Katie Seiferth. And now let's start with prayer. So I invite you to just take those hands and close them in prayer position with an intention in the center, and hold that intention. Let it be your intention for this week of Easter, and just bring that to your heart space, whatever your intention is. It may be for love, healing, whatever you would like to have happen this week. And we breathe into that heart space and connect with that intention, knowing that we are the love and the light of the world, and we have great gifts to share, and that we are powerful beyond understanding as we commune with the God that we connect with, and we allow that God, that Spirit, to move in, through, and as us. We know we are powerful manifestors, powerful support for others, and we are here on this planet, on this day, at this time, to do something wonderful. And we are ready and willing to step into that, and so it is. Amen, everyone. And why don't we enjoy a song by our delightful music director, Katie Seiferth.
So nice to be with all of you. I thought it'd be lovely to start with Love is My Decision by Daniel Niemand.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, Spirit will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, Spirit will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, the Spirit will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
everyone. It's so great to be here with you at Unity of Mesa, where we enlighten, empower, and energize one another to uplift our world through a greater expression of God. And I am glad to have you join us. So as pastoral minister, taking on both ministers' roles until Kathy returns, I'm finding challenges in every direction. So we continue to ask you to just be patient and please connect through our website. Our emails are on this site, and we do want to know if you are struggling or need a helping hand or can lend a hand to anyone else. Hopefully the admin necessities will slow down to normal this week. And if the technology works for us this service, then we can direct more time and energy to better personal connection systems. And it's going to take the whole community to help each other through these times. No one has to do everything, but everyone needs to do something. And the most powerful and easiest thing to do is to pray. Holding the light, holding for divine guidance, and holding for love in each and every person in the world. And so I invite you to do that as your first action step, that the fifth principle that we teach in Unity is to take action, put feet to your words. So one of the best programs that I've seen out there that we are participating in and is being rolled out this Monday, I believe, is Adopt a Grandparent program. If you are a senior and you do not have family around to support you or friends who are able to support you easily, I invite you to get hold of me, send me an email, and or have a friend send me an email and say you need help, give me some information so I can contact you so we can get you some support, because support will be available for picking up groceries, for picking up prescriptions, and for just doing a weekly check-in with you to make sure everything's okay and there's nothing more that you need. And on the other hand, we need volunteers who are willing and able to do those three things. So if you are in either position, please send me an email and let me know so that I can get it to the correct people. And yeah, so that's just important to know. Then also, we said goodbye to Lonnie and Allison last night through an online Zoom call. So Allison Wilson and Lonnie Frederick have been important members of this community. They've served on boards. They led the Course in Miracle class for years and years and years, like way more years than I've been in Unity, I believe. And they are moving up to the East Coast to be close to family. Allison's family's up there. So they will be leaving later this week. So if you missed last night, please go ahead and you've got their contact information, give them a buzz, send them an email or something just to wish them well. And we found out they could easily be on Zoom with us and maybe never leave us, even though physically they'll be across the country. We also want to remind you that our Sangha is going to move to online and going to be during the week. Please check the website for exactly when and how to connect with that. You do have to register. We will be doing fellowship today after service, and if it works well, we'll be doing it the next week also. And know that it's something you will need to sign up for ahead of time so that we know how many people to expect, and we will send you the link after you register, and that registration is on the website. We are also going to do communion online Wednesday evening. Please register by Tuesday night so that we can get you the information regarding what you need to have for communion at your house and how to link into our Zoom. And now we'd like to do an offering. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I would like you to take in your hands, envision what you would like to be gifting to this community, because we know that being in the flow of abundance is important, especially at this time when things are just shifting a little bit for temporarily and maybe longer than that for some others. But we want you to be part of the abundance. So if nothing else, you are sharing your love and light with us. And we hold that next to our hearts as we say our offering blessing. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Amen. And we know that the gifts that you do send into the church, whether it's through electronic giving or through the mail, and we are checking the mail every day, even though we are not necessarily in the office every day. We will be checking that mail every day, so it is safe to send checks to us. We had a few people ask about that this week. And now let's do a song before I go into the lesson.
Well, it's my pleasure to do this powerful song. It's one of my favorites. I don't think I've ever sung it for Unity before, but it is called Last Song by Daniel Nemad.
If this is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I will be gone, what do I want to say? If this is my last song, if it's my time to go, when my body's moved on, what will I have to show? Oh, but fortune and fame, they scatter to the wind. The things that make a name just don't matter in the end. But is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and sky a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. If these are my last words for all of the world to hear, if all that I have ever been is about to disappear, if these are my last words, there's nothing that I need to say. I have only tried to serve. It's never been about talking anyway. So much hurt there is to heal, it's hard to understand. All I can hope to feel is that I'm doing what I can. Is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and sky a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. Have I given hope to the hopeless? Has a hungry soul been fed? Does a child stood a little bit taller 'cause of something that I said? Have I left a little kindness? Have I eased a little pain? If so, then I'm glad I came. For that, I'm so glad I came. If this is my last song, what do I leave behind? What do I pass on if I am out of time?
Thank you so much, Katie. I just love that song. I heard it for the first time this week, actually. And it's that, am I going to make the world a better place? Is it a better place because I've been here? And is humankind a little bit wiser because I've been here? I just love those thoughts. And wow, what a week it's been, isn't it? The week that changed the world, according to, is what's coming up according to Ernest Wilson, sorry, so sorry. Ernest C. Wilson wrote the book, The Week That Changed the World, and he was talking about the week from Palm Sunday to Easter, which is what we're coming into. And I don't know about you, but I kind of feel like I've been in a week that has changed our world, and my understanding is it will continue to operate that way for a while. So we know that some of you have had minor conveniences, like missing some social gatherings and maybe even wondering what to do with yourself. Others have had their lives turned upside down. But we know that nothing we're experiencing now is the same as it has been before. And nothing that we experienced before will be the same after this. We have congregants who have lost family members already. We have congregants who have personally wrestled with life and death. We have congregants who have no idea how they will feed themselves or have access to their medications or pay any bills. We have congregants right now who have no family or close friends to connect with. I had one congregant this week tell me they just wished there was one person in the world who would connect with them to let them know they're still a visible being on this planet. We have congregants with dear ones who are in the front lines at our medical centers and in other essential service areas. We have congregants who have a huge support system and just wish they could be with each other in person to connect. And we have congregants using this time to do some spiritual work. And we are all doing the best that we can do in this moment. So with that, what do we do with this Easter story? This week that changed the world? Easter is the story of letting go of everything, and awakening to a new level of awareness. And I believe that's what most of us are experiencing right now. We are experiencing this shift to a new level of awareness. Reverend James Trapp wrote an article for Unity Magazine back in April of 2009. And it's, let me see, it is the Easter story of your life, the Easter of your life. You can Google it and pull the whole thing up, but I'm going to spend a little bit of time with it because I thought it was so powerful. Two of the most important questions we can ask ourselves is, what am I? And what is my purpose? The answers we have determine our self-concept, which then influences the boundaries of our personal growth and development. In the ancient wisdom teachings that Unity has adopted, many of them, because it moves through Zoroastrianism and all the way through until where we are today, who and what we are is more important. Now, who and what we are is more than what we can actually see or that can be seen with our physical eyes or described through our five senses. We are much more than that. There's a part of us that can never be endangered, never be destroyed, and that's our true nature and being. It transcends our history, it transcends our human lineage, and false concepts, any false concepts that we have accepted for ourselves. When we live from that awareness, we fulfill the life that God sees when God sees us. It is the life that reflects our divine purpose, in which we contribute our unique gifts and talents to our world. One person who fully contributed his gift to the world and arguably fulfilled his divine purpose like no other before or since is Jesus the Christ. Apostle Paul said that if the spirit that dwells in Christ Jesus is in you, you too will be lifted up. And we absolutely know without any doubt right now that there is no if in that statement. The same spirit is in all of us that was in Jesus. We are all avatars. We don't just worship and believe in Jesus, we believe what he says, that we are the light and the kingdom of God is within us. When we fully embody that truth, we will be lifted above any circumstance that we may face or experience. We know death does not have the final word. The Easter story demonstrates that there is something within us that was here before we incarnated and remains after seeing death. Death is not the end of life, but rather the continuation of the life process. Easter is known as the resurrection and the ascension. Jesus' essence was so spiritualized that he was able to say, the Father and I are one, a reminder that there is no separation between us and spirit. It is the recognition that there is only God. All else is just an illusion. The resurrection follows the crucifixion, and no life ever escapes this process. So the Easter story is the movement about moving from an old way of being crucified to something being crucified in order that something can be born. And my belief is this little virus is here to help us crucify the old ways so something new can be born. And we can resurrect from this crucifixion story, the crucifixion story of COVID-19. We can look beyond appearances and recognize that there is a divine plan unfolding. Our task is to hold on to that vision until our life bears witness to truth that liberates us and sets us free, however that free looks, because it may not look like we want it to look. So in the Easter story, it gives us a clue of how to access that eternal dimension. So what did Jesus do during that week? What was he thinking? What was his way of being in the world? We know that he prayed all the time, right? And he frequently went away from the masses to keep his communion with spirit vibrating at a high level. He stayed prayed up for the emergencies. So if you've not been praying, start praying now. We have been told that the situation with this virus will get worse, and it might not. But this is a tool to support you if you use it. Praying is the tool, and it's free, and it can be done while you're sheltering in place. And I imagine we all have a little bit more time during our days right now. At one time in the Easter story, Jesus was betrayed by Judas, wasn't he? And how would that happen if prayer is working? Well, maybe it was a seeming betrayal. Maybe Judas, who is often unjustly maligned, was actually sacrificing himself. Jesus would not be remembered today if that had not happened, because it was the crucifixion, the death, and the resurrection, the ascension, that leaves us with stories of Jesus that are so powerful that they stand out above the stories of other teachers at that time. So what if sacrifice means to make sacred? And Judas, although often condemned, maybe is the one who loved Jesus the most. He may have loved him more than anyone else and was willing to sacrifice to make it sacred. He served as the catalyst for the glad surprise of the resurrection to take place. And is this virus a catalyst for our own resurrection? In the King James Version of the Bible, the quote attributed to Jesus was, "Why hast thou forsaken me?" But in the Lambda Bible, that same passage was translated as, "It is for this purpose that I was born." So this suggests that Jesus was fully aware that this was his great moment. It was the moment he was waiting and preparing for all his life. This was the case for Jesus, and it is the case in every moment of our lives. When we realize that whatever we're going through, we are not to shrink from it, even if it seems to overwhelm us. we need to not shrink from it. We need to stand in our truth. We need to stand in our power. And today, in this moment, we are to remember who we are spiritually. We are spiritually made in the image and in the likeness of God. When we can see from this perspective, we will stand and say, for this purpose we were born. Or as we experience the chaos of this virus, can we say that this situation is an opportunity to go beyond our self-imposed boundaries? This opportunity is calling for the highest and the best in us to shine as never before. In those declarations, we begin to practice a new way of being in the world. We no longer see ourselves as victims and as separate, but as vehicles of pure spirit. And we talked the last 2 weeks about forgiveness. Resurrection will follow forgiveness. And please, if you've not started the practice, please start it now. I don't know how many people I've talked to this week who one of their biggest concerns is there's separations within the family and they don't know how to connect with their family, and they want to because they're afraid. They're afraid that they may pass up a last chance to say what they need to say, to let a family member know how much they love them. So start your forgiveness work, folks. It's time. It's past time. And we know that Jesus at one point is supposedly said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And we know any resurrection is built on that consciousness of forgiveness. And only then can we see the gifts in what may be a seemingly betrayal of life. This virus just might be supporting our own resurrection process. We might be moving into that and helping our life become fully supported by Spirit, guiding us to right and perfect actions based on an openness to explore all the potentials in this chaos. It's the now moment that counts. Jesus, when he was crucified, was up on the cross between two prisoners, right? The one was all worried about what he had done in the past. He's talking about all the negative things he'd done in the past. The other one was worried about what was going to happen to them, that of the future. So Jesus was surrounded by the past and by the future. But Jesus stayed in the present. He stayed in that vortex of creativity where heaven is revealed on earth, here and now. Because it's not the past that determines our current experience, or the worrying about the future and what it might be that determines our current experience. If we have any thoughts moving through our mind, and we constantly do, they are right now affecting every aspect of our being, physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's our present thinking about the past that is affecting our life, and the worry about what we think is going to be created in the future that is creating all sorts of issues within our bodies. So, because we have the ability to name things, we can name it all good, even if we cannot see the good in it right now. When we do that, our life begins to immediately change, because as within, so without. And if I'm going to pray, I don't need to worry. But if I want to worry, don't bother about praying, okay, folks? So just think about that. Can you release it all in prayer? Can you give it to Spirit? Can you give it to God? Our present thinking is just simply a sneak preview of our upcoming experiences. If we want to get an idea of what life is going to be like, we simply have to look at what we're thinking about right now. So watch your thoughts, hold on to them, and know that there's an absolute and there's a reality, and they don't always appear the way, the reality doesn't always appear the way we want it to, but our thoughts can control at multiple levels our reality. So watch your thoughts, and you'll feel better each day as you do that. And know that the Christ presence is within us and returns when we allow it to be the activity of our awareness. And when we do, we live with awareness. That which is within us is greater than that which is in the world. So we know that this virus might be our Pontius Pilate, And Jesus at one point just washed his hands of the whole situation where all these people wanted Jesus to be crucified. And at one point he said, no, I don't want to. I've washed my hands of it. And so can we wash our hands of this virus and hold a higher truth and embrace the science, follow those protocols that would support each other, because we're all in this together. There's not a one of us who's not going to be touched by somebody who's experiencing this virus. So we are all in this together. And can we hold the truth for all of us, that there is a higher awakening going on in this as we move through it? And know that the entire universe is asking that we be our true selves. There's but one power and one presence in the universe, and it is within you. And when we put our attention there, it will express as our life, our real life. When we look at our world and we see the seeming betrayals, we recognize them as the modern day crucifixion experiences. Man's inhumanity to man, wars, rumors of war, economic breakdowns, any of the challenges we face across the planet, the harming of the planet. So at times, we think that maybe it will never get better, but maybe this virus is that which can uplift us and move us into a higher level of awareness, a higher level of consciousness. And can we do this without stepping into fear? Because fear has a very low vibrational level. And we know that maybe, we don't know that, maybe. I'm going to give you a possibility. I know that, but maybe for you, it was for this purpose that we were born. We talked a lot about the bus stop experience. Mariah has talked about it. It's Dr. Sue has talked about when she's been here, that there's a bus stop experience that before we came into this body, we had discussions at the bus stop and we agreed to certain things. And I don't know about you, but there have been times this week when I wanted to go back to that bus stop and renegotiate my agreement. And maybe you felt some of that, but these are the agreements we've made as we came into here. And so can we rise above a crucifixion experience? Can we not take ourselves all the way there this week? Can we look at some of those teachings and can we shift something and do something different? And know that the entire world will celebrate Easter of our hearts, that which we would like to see, and that we will rise above this. And as Jesus said, when you see me, you see the presence that sent me, and you will experience Easter every day of your life. And I'd like you to take that idea with you this week, that when you see me, or you see John, or you see Katie, or you see Candee, or you see Bill, or you see Harry, when you see someone, you are seeing the presence that sent them here. And know that Easter happens every day. There's always a crucifixion and a rebirth and an ascension. And we live with that. And we get to choose some of that. And this week we have time to sit in prayer and to shift any fears we have, any doubts we have, and know the truth of who we are. And so now I'm going to invite you to prepare for a meditation with Candee. And then Katie has a song for us.
If you'll all take a few moments to get comfortably settled where you're sitting and clear your lap, unless there's a cat or a dog or a loved one resting there, but let your hands rest at your sides and feel a beautiful light above you, and let it slowly pour down and relax you as it moves first down over your head and your face, down your neck, over your shoulders, and your arms and your hands, down your chest, down through your stomach and your legs, all the way down to your feet, helping to anchor them into the earth. And when you're ready, close your eyes. I am blessed with the strength to do and be my best. I am blessed with the strength to walk the path I chose to walk by being on the earth at this time. We each came with lessons to learn and gifts to share. While each of us chose to be exactly where we are, when we are, and how we are, understanding why we chose this path may sometimes be difficult to see. We may at this point in time be questioning ourselves and our choices, just as Jesus must have questioned as his path unfolded before him. As fear and uncertainty appear, we are presented with the perfect opportunity to look them in the eye and to go within, listening to our heart and soul, feeling what we are feeling, and giving ourselves the chance to understand where that fear and uncertainty are coming from. Knowing that we can find the peace of God in the silence within us can give us the strength to release our fears and uncertainties while continuing to walk the path we chose to walk by being on the earth at this time. Take a moment to breathe deeply in and out. And again, breathing slowly in and out. One more deep breath in and out. And repeat to yourself, I am blessed with the strength to do and be my best. I am blessed with the strength to walk the path I chose to walk by being on the earth at this time. I find the peace of God in the silence within me. Slowly come back to the space in which you're seated. Gently move your fingers, your hands, wiggle your toes and your feet. Move your body, and when you're ready, open your eyes, remembering I am blessed with the strength to do and be my best. I am blessed with the strength to walk the path I chose to walk by being on the earth at this time. I find the peace of God in the silence within me.
Let's allow the song, The Power of Now by Faith Rivera, to take us even deeper into that meditation.
The power of now is always present, nowhere to be than where you are. The power of now flows oh so gracefully. The power of now is always perfect, nothing to be than who you are. The power of now flows oh so easily. Be willing to let go of everything you think you need to know. Oh, be strong enough to let go of everything you think you need to control. Everything goes away. Let everything wash away. The power of now. The power of now is ever flowing, connecting us all to the one. The power of now unfolds so peacefully. Be willing to let go of everything you think you need to know. Oh, be strong enough to let go of everything you think you need to control. For everything goes away. Let everything wash away. The power of now. The power of now. The power of now. The power of now.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Candee. Such a blessing to work with you two today. And for the rest of you, if you registered this week via the website for the Zoom fellowship, we'll see you in a few minutes out in the Zoom garden. And for everyone else, we wish you just a restful, uneventful week coming forward. And we always remember that the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Please have a blessed week and contact us if you need something. Goodbye.